Hi there, happy Sunday. I'm doing this on Sunday. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to my new subscribers too. I have a couple of new subscribers last week. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. Today I'm going to be working on Margarete Miller week 26. So this week we have an umbrella or parasol. And this is going to be one of the rare times when I use one item for two of the prompts. So I have this nice 50s housewife I've cut out. And she's got an umbrella. Something yellow or orange. I have a couple of these little scraps that I'm going to use for the yellow. And then, oh, whoops, I missed something edible. Something edible was the second prompt. And I have this nice little drink I cut out, but I was going to do the cherry. And yeah, very summery looking. And then the fourth prompt was a piece of clothing, and she's wearing clothing that matches along with some yellow shoes. So I'm just going to use it for that. I don't want to add another one. Something that moves or flows. I have this piece of paper. I believe that I got it out of my collage soup book called Summer Loving ebook. And I'm doing the palm fronds because I really love palm trees. My husband will point out to you that they're not native, but I still love them. And the way the fronds move when there's a light breeze or a big wind. So that's sort of the moves or flows in the wind I was kind of going with. And then the bonus was a fingerprint. And so this is a fingerprint that I took off the internet, or like fingerprint like. But yeah, I'm going to use it as just sort of a pattern on the page. And then I have a few other, some background, some words I'm using. And then I also have this washi tape, which I considered using. I don't know which way yet though, because it's like her outfit. It's, you know, polka dot yellows. But I haven't decided if I'm going to use that for certain. It would just be an accent. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I want to tone this down a little. So I'm going to put a little bit of tissue on top of the fingerprint because everything on the page is very muted. You know, I mean, there's a little bit, the yellow is a little bit bright, but I'm using small accents of that. Mostly everything is pretty muted. So I thought I would just put this on and see if I could make the fingerprint not stand out so much. Sorry, if you hear any noise, I have a neighbor getting home and their baby is crying quite loudly, as babies sometimes do. So yeah, I think that did mute it just a little. Because it was pretty black and white when I'm not doing much with black and white, so. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I needed a second. Most of it's going to be under, I'm using it, like I said, as sort of a background accent. So, but there. A little muted. And that way this can dry while I start to put together the other part of it. All right. my usual background, or my usual page of, this one actually has writing on it. I think my glue stick is going to run out. I may have to grab another one. But yeah, I went with a very pale color scheme this week. My mind is on summer. Even though, like I may have mentioned in another video, we don't really get summer here. It's overcast and cold during our summers here. And so oftentimes during summer, I dream of a warm, beautiful summer rather than what we have here. But I do live in a beautiful state and a beautiful city, so sorry, I was just grabbing a new glue stick that doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I have all these like magazines that I've stripped of images and stuff that I want to use, or I may think I'm going to use, and then I keep the few pages left to use as, you know, glue surfaces to put glue on stuff, and then half the time I forget to use them. So I have all these magazines backing up. So use that. Okay. But you know, like these are blowing, something that moves or flows. Well, I'm doing the leaves moving, so. But so I'm doing something like that, and then this is going to just be used as a kind of background-ish. But yeah. So then I have this fun sign, and here's a little more of the yellow. But it already had sticky stuff on the back, so it is stuck on there already. The thing I always find interesting about this challenge is that some weeks it's a struggle to make like what I call sort of a collage picture, because you know, I mean, a lot of this already had yellow on it, so I could have used any of this for the yellow, but I used these little things I found. And within next week's, I'm already sort of in process with putting together what, it has a lot of pieces to it, and I'm still missing one of the prompts, so it's just weird how you can sometimes they're easy prompts to do. Like I had to add these items because I was not coming up with enough stuff otherwise to put down. It just was the woman in the drink with the background. So, but next week I have a bunch of things on. And like I said, I'm still looking for one of the prompts to put down. Sorry, I am cutting this off screen because it's all sticky. So see, it still looks like a fingerprint, but it's a little less in your face black and white, but I was going to put, and then use it as sort of, I don't know, a background. It's still drying. This is when I should cut and go dry it, but I don't actually have a drying instrument. I don't even think I own a hairdryer anymore. I think I gave it to my daughter years ago. So but yes. So essentially this is me wanting to be on a beach, even though I don't like sand. I do like to sit by the beach. I remember fondly sitting by the beach in Maui a few years ago, watching the sunsets, having a cocktail, and just taking it all in. See, it was going to be just sort of something like that. Because I wasn't sure how to put a fingerprint into the work. But I had hoped this year that we would go back to Oahu. That's where we spent our honeymoon. But it hasn't worked out for us schedule-wise to plan a trip yet. My husband has a lot of work deadlines this summer, so we probably won't go anywhere until, I don't know, September, October, which is still a nice time to go visit Oahu, so we will see what comes from that. But I'd like to redo Oahu because I don't know, I probably never mentioned it on here, but I broke my foot 2 weeks before my wedding. And so our honeymoon was, we only went for 4 days because we were broke young people back then. And I had a broken foot, and it wasn't the most ideal thing to do. I mean, we already had it planned before I broke my foot. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I want to work the polka dots in or not. Oh, and then I need, shoot, I need my, like, maybe a little bit of polka dot up here, just to kind of, it's like a highlight. Although now it doesn't look like a polka dot. So maybe a little bit on the side here, just to kind of go with her outfit. I'm trying to see what that actually is. I think it might be Easter eggs. But I don't know, just some more bright yellow on there. I kind of like this little, what I'm doing here. And then I need to find my word or phrase that I like to put on here. Yeah, I like this. It might be silly and you might not be able to tell, but that really sort of adds a little something to it. I like that. I just happened to find that washi tape this morning. Let me grab my words. Let's see. She looks like a... Oh, my daughter and I went to our local Pride parade yesterday, and so my knees are shot from all the walking we did. And spring, do I say something about summer? It's birthday, New Year. I feel like I want something that says like sun or, I don't know, collect beautiful moments. That seems sort of... Love yourself first. Always be on the lookout for them. Summertime. Sorry, I've been trying to have these picked out. Travel the world to find the beautiful. That would sort of fit in with my travel that I was just talking about. There. And so there's a little bit of a fingerprint that you can sort of see. I just didn't want it to stand out, so it's sort of like just a background. Yeah. So this one came out better than I expected. With these, with the tape. And then these little pieces of, these were much loved. They were like scrapbooking strips. I think they were by Doodlebug. And I have saved every single piece every time I use one. Because I think I used a brown one the other day on a project. I don't have my projects right here. And but I save every single piece, and they've been in this like pencil case with a bunch of other stuff, and I just pulled them out when I was looking for some yellow things the other day. I thought yellow went better with what I'd already chosen out. And the 50s housewife is actually from a digital kit or digital files that I got from Etsy. I'll link who I got those from too. Yeah, when I was pulling out, trying to find yellow stuff for this page, I came across those. And then these are part of scrapbooking stuff, which I don't put into stuff mostly. So yeah, I do think the addition of these little yellow added more than I really expected them to. So yep, here's up close. Let's go over the prompts. An umbrella or a parasol right here. Something edible. I chose that cherry. Something yellow or orange. Well, I have lots of, there's yellow washi tape, yellow, I don't even know what to call those, paper lace, a yellow drink. She's wearing yellow. She has yellow shoes. A piece of clothing. I'm going with her dress or her shoes, either one. Something that moves or flows. I have palm fronds. And then bonus, a fingerprint, which is what this is under here. As I showed it before, I tried to dull it. I liked the dark because there's a little bit of dark up here and a little bit of dark right there. You know, like I was trying, but anyway. So yeah, there's this week's. I feel like, sorry, the straw is not glued down. I think I'll get snagged on things if I don't put it down. So yeah, like this one much better, I think, than last week's. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a really wonderful Sunday. I hope that you found some time to be crafty. Again, thank you to my new subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. Please like or share or comment if you like what I'm doing. I love to hear from people who are following me that maybe like what I'm doing. And yeah, have a great Sunday. Thank you.